Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Album War. Today, we're looking at two pretty cool hard rock releases. One released in 1975, the other released in 1980. We've got Grand Funk Railroad's Caught in the Act. This is now the second time Grand Funk is being featured in our Classic Live Album War. Because, of course, we're like kind of halfway through, and we're going to start to see some of these artists showing up again because some of them have multiple really good classic live albums. The other band, Whitesnake, live in the heart of the city. Okay, early Whitesnake. So let's take a look at each one of these. All right, so the first one, like I mentioned, this is Grand Funk Railroad, Caught in the Act. Okay, this follows up their original Grand Funk live album. Okay, so this one released in 1975, recorded in February 1975 on that particular tour that they were out on, released as a double album. Some really, really strong tracks on here. So here is where, Grand Funk kind of moving a little bit away from that, like early heavy rock, garage rock sound that they were notable for early in their career. Also, by this point, they were a dedicated four-piece. So you've got Mark Farner on guitars, vocals, Hammond organ, Craig Frost, okay, on keyboards, backing vocals, percussion. You got Mel Scatcher on bass, backing vocals, Don Brewer on drums and vocals. Okay, but also on the tour they had the Funkettes, Lorraine Feather and Jonna Giglio, okay, on backing vocals. But basically they were a four-piece right around this time. Here's where, Grand Funk was riding high with lots of hits, You had the American Band album, Shining On, okay, a little more commercial sound to the band, but still really good rockin' band, right? So here you've got a very, very strong live album that has a lot of those notable tracks from the second half of their career. Okay, so kicking it off on side one of the original LP, also on the CD, you've got Foot Stompin' Music. Okay, great way to get a show going. Okay, get an album going. Foot Stompin' Music, tons of groove. It's funky. It's rocking. Okay, it's got some killer organ from Mark Farner, and then he comes in with a ripping electric guitar solo. Great, great tune. Rock and Roll Soul follows that up. Classic tune from the band. Of course, then you got Closer to Home. Okay. Great, great tune from the band. Obviously, one of their most well-known songs. Heartbreaker follows. Okay, good bluesy, darker bluesy rocker. Then you got Some Kind of Wonderful. Okay, they're a great cover of that classic track. Shining On, title track to that album, excellent on here. Then you got a pretty ripping version of The Locomotion. Okay, of course, that's a Carole King cover that they did. Very successful on the LP that it showed up on, but I think even better here, it's pretty raucous and lively. It's just a great party tune in the hands of Grand Funk Railroad. Okay, side three of the vinyl kicks off with Black Licorice, a great tune. All right, great song from the We're American Band album. Then you got The Railroad, another fantastic tune from that album. Then the title track, We're an American Band. Okay, killer on here. Then you got the amazing TNUC, all sorts of great jams in that. Then side four, you got two fantastic covers. You've got their cover of Inside Looking Out, okay, the great Eric Burdon track, Chaz Chandler and the Animals. Inside Looking Out, just another one of those tunes, cover tunes, better than the original. Okay, great version of it on here is a great version of it on the original live album from them. And then you've got a killer version of the Rolling Stones' Gimme Shelter. So a really good, fun album. A lot of strong tracks from that middle period, right? As well as some really good cover tunes. Okay. Obviously, they're, two of their biggest hits ever are on this album. We're an American Band and Closer to Home. Okay, I'm your captain. But we've also got The Locomotion, a couple other really notable tracks. So very well produced, sounds great, a lot of fun. I really dig this live album a lot, as I do this one. Okay, so again, this is the earlier Whitesnake. All right, this is not the mid-'80s, heavier, long hair and John Sykes and all that kind of stuff. So for those of you, and I know there's plenty of people out there here who like the earlier version of Whitesnake, okay, when Coverdale first put the band together after he left Deep Purple. So this is, of course, the era of Mickey Moody and Bernie Marsden on co-lead guitars, right? Also John Lord, following Coverdale from Deep Purple into Whitesnake. All right, Neil Murray on bass guitar. Ian Pace plays drums on part of this. These recordings are taken from 2 shows. So you got Ian Pace on half, David Doyle on the others. Okay. And what we have here is we've got, just find out where this stuff was recorded. Okay, we've got it from the Hammersmith Odeon. Okay, I believe it's 3 different shows. Let's see here. All right, so we got from June 1980 at the Hammersmith and also November 1978 at the Hammersmith. I believe that's where all this stuff is from here. Okay, all from, we got some stuff from, you know, Snakebite, Ready and Willing, Love Hunter. Okay, the Trouble album as well. Okay, what else? We got a couple Purple tunes on here. All sorts of good stuff. So the first disc, well, actually the first disc, I believe this is all on 1 disc, right? If I am correct, yeah. It's all on 1 disc, originally a double album, starting off with Come On, okay? The wonderful Sweet Talker, okay? Walking in the Shadow of the Blues. This is my favorite version of Walking in the Shadow of the Blues. Killer on here with some stinging lead guitar from Bernie Marsden. Love it. Love Hunter, okay, funky. Got a lot of fire on this version. Fool for Your Lovin' shows up here. Of course, they redid Fool for Your Lovin' later on, okay, in the 80s. Amped it up a bit for the 80s, but the original version is quite good as well. Ain't Gonna Cry No More. All right. Great, great tune. Ready and Willin'. One of my favorite Whitesnake tunes from the early catalog. Ready and Willing is great on here. Then we got the raucous Take Me With You. One of the highlights of this album. Okay. All right. Then over on, I guess, sides 3 and 4 of the vinyl, you've got the Hammersmith 1978 shows. You got Might Just Take Your Life. All right. Of course, that is a Deep Purple song. Okay. You got another rendition of Come On. Okay. You got Lie Down. Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. All right. Great, great cover of theirs. The title track to Troubled. And, of course, a rip-in version of Mistreated. Okay, a classic Deep Purple track. Done very, very well here, I might add. So, you know, right around this time, you had both Rainbow and Whitesnake doing Mistreated. So, of course, Coverdale sang on the original Burn album. Okay. And then you got Ronnie James Dio doing it on the Rainbow on Stage album. Both really good. Okay, it's funny, you listen to like live versions of Mistreated from the Mark III era. Okay, Purple itself doing it, and then you compare it to the Whitesnake version on here and the Rainbow version on the On Stage album. A lot of really good versions of Mistreated. Great tune, right? So anyway, so what do I think of these 2 sensational live albums? This is tough because I dig both of these a lot. I probably like the first Grand Funk Railroad live album better than this, although this is quite good. Quite good. This is pretty damn special, though. And you all know I'm a huge Whitesnake fan, right? It's my 3rd favorite band of all time. So I think if I had to make a choice here, and it's tough because I love Grand Funk so much, and I really dig this live album, I think if it was a choice between this and the first album versus this, I would probably go with Grand Funk's album, but seeing as I'm not quite as in love with this as I am with that first Grand Funk live album, although I do dig it a hell of a lot, I'm going to go with Whitesnake here. I just think this is a sensational, good, bluesy, hard rock album with material recorded like in the very late 70s and the early 80s, and it's a good representation of what this band was all about, before the 80s started coming in. I mean, I like all versions of Whitesnake, but, this more bluesy version of the band is quite good, and I think that all included here were in fine form during these recordings. Coverdale especially, and the lead guitars of Marsden and Moody are off the charts good, so I'm going to give a slight edge to Live in the Heart of the City. Split decision, right? Okay, 116, 114, 115, 112, 115, 114. All right, they squeak it out. Spirited battle to the end, back and forth by 2 masters. In the end, though, I think the class of this album is going to rise up just a little bit above Grand Funk. But you know what? They're both great. It really doesn't, If I had to pick one, I'm going to pick that one, obviously, because we want these choices to go to the second round of this tournament. So I'm going to go with Whitesnake. You may feel differently, so let us know what you think by voting. Again, you're going to see a little circle in the upper right-hand corner with an eye on it. If you don't see it, move your mouse or your cursor over that. It'll pop up there. It's there. Okay, and click on that. Vote for whether you like the Grand Funk live album or the Whitesnake live album. You can also go to our Facebook page and vote there as well. And if you feel like putting some comments in below about why you like what you like, what your feelings are about both albums, go right ahead and do that. And visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube every day, so stay tuned. We've got more classic live album wars coming up in the days and weeks ahead, so don't touch that dial, and we'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.